it's me. Welcome back. Today is Monday, March the 15th, and it's time for me to do my weekly show and tell of what I've worked on this week, as well as what projects I've started for my 31 starts in March for March Mayhem. This is going to be probably a jam-packed video, so grab some stitching, grab a drink if you're so inclined. I have my drink. This is actually my second cup of coffee. Hold on, I'll show you what mug this is in. Yep, that's what we're doing today. So, why do they always put it on just one side? Sometimes I wish they would put the design on both sides. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I think I got that from Books A Million. Maybe Barnes & Noble. I don't know. I got it from somewhere. Obviously, I got it from somewhere. Anyway, this video, like I said, is going to be pretty jam-packed. If you hear any whining in the background, Abby is going to sleep. She's mostly there, but she still has that little gut instinct to fight it. So you may hear a little whimper or a whine in the background at some point if she doesn't go to sleep. We have the fan on in there. Not real high, but not at the lowest setting. We've got it pointed kind of down toward the floor in the opposite direction so it doesn't blow on her. And we've also got a YouTube video which plays, I think it's called Brown's Lullaby. But that's how we get her to nap. So it's time for her morning nap. So good time to do a video. Technically, Andy got off a little while ago. It's about 20 after 12 now. He was supposed to get off about 12 o'clock. But he had some errands to run. I'm sorry if y'all hear those dogs in the background. The cat's out there somewhere. He had some errands to run. Including, but not limited to, getting a drug test for his job because they're hiring him on to the company. Because up till now, he's been working through a temp company. And so, they're getting him hired on to the actual company. So, we're excited about that. Benefits and a 16-cent raise. So, it's all good. He's more looking forward toward the benefits than anything. But, I have a lot to show you. So, I'm not going to ramble on much further. And, we're just going to get this started. Sorry about that. I had to go take a little break and go check and make sure Andy wasn't home as the reason why the dogs were barking. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you won't see that. It'll only be like half a second to you guys. But, let's get started because I don't know how long this is going to be. You guys know, because future me will have already recorded the video. Anyway, first thing I'm going to show you guys is same thing I always start off by showing you guys, which is my daily 30. And this is the Heaven in a Wildflower by Rosewood Manor. If you bring it in a little bit closer. It's overcast today, and so I have the living room light on to try to help matters a little bit. Don't know if it's helping or not. It seems to be, but we'll see. You should be seeing a picture here of what it looked like last time you saw it. And this is just a spoiler alert for something that I got for some of my haul that I got from Hobby Lobby the other day. I got an 11 by 17 inch Q-snap so that I could work on this thing as a whole instead of having to constantly move the 11 inch back and forth. So this is where it's at now. There we go. Told you this linen is see-through. So this is what it looks at now. This is what it looks like now. It's coming through pretty good. Obviously I finished this side over here. That's all done. And I have started on the little decorative, hold it back here. Started on the little decorative vine border that's over here on the side. So I am so excited, you guys. Like, I'm so excited because I think if I can finish this up by the end of this week, today's Monday, if I can finish this vine up this week, I can take it to the stitch and frame and get it framed up for my mom and give it to her on her 70th birthday, which is April 17th. So that'll be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to that prospect. So, and obviously I need to put the initials and the year there. I have a question though. If you're giving something to somebody, like if you stitch it up for somebody, whether it be a loved one or a friend or whatever, do you put their initials on the piece when it's like that, or do you put your initials? I don't know. Maybe I'll put both and just leave the year off. No, because that kind of commemorates her 70th birthday. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should I put her initials or should I put mine? So, that is where that's at right now. I'm so excited. I'm super excited to have this done. By the end of the week. Excuse me, it's like it's it moves. And these clamps are super tight. Super tight. So, I had to cut I had to cut new felt just for the 17-inch side. And as you can see, it's not long enough. And I actually cut it down the long end and only got 3 of these strips. So you got one here, and then I have an extra one. But that is where that one sits at right now. Super excited. Like I'm gonna work on it a little extra this week to try to get that done by the end of the week. Losing thread. Look, there's more. If I don't pick it up now, I will totally forget. Anyway, I mean, might as well pick it up now while I'm sitting here holding the project. So as you can see, the next thing I have to show you is my Quaker Christmas sampler from Just Cross Stitch magazine. I didn't work on this a lot this week, I know, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all I didn't work at all on the Supernatural style, which I really need to finish that up. I need to finish that part up before the 24th, when the next part comes out, or the 24th-ish. So this is where the style is at right now. Last you saw this, I had all of part 1. I had the Santa thing right here. I think I had all of his hat. I think, yeah, I had all of the red hat, and I had the blue eye, and I had put like the first where my stitch is supposed to go on the word Mary in the blue right there. So this is where this sits at right now. As you can see, I finished the word Mary, and Did the pink in his cheeks and his face. There's actually a stitch up here that I need to go and cover over with the white, because by the time I realized that there wasn't supposed to be that pinkish stitch wasn't supposed to be there, it's supposed to be a white stitch, I was already too far down, and I'm like, I'm not unpicking that, so I'll just cover it over with a white stitch. It'll be fine. So this is where it's at right now. So, yeah, it's coming along slowly. I need to get some more work in on this. I can go ahead and tell you guys, here lately, I haven't been getting much stitching except for my daily 30 piece and my new starts. So any extra, what do they call it? Extra credit. What they used to call it in school, like not your major classes, but your, like if you were in band or drama or something, what do they call that? Y'all know what I mean. Y'all probably screaming it at me. But that's where that's at right now. I forgot to mention, Rosewood Manor is on a tea-dyed 28 count Irish linen by Charles Craft. The Christmas Quaker sampler is on just a beige 18 count Aida. Hold please. Okay, so moving on. That's all the existing whips that I have. Now I'm going to show you what I started last week as part of my 31 starts for March Mayhem. I think the last day that you saw was March 7th in my last video, which was, I filmed it on my birthday on the 8th, but the last new start you saw was from the 7th, so y'all finally get to see my birthday start. So, I've been keeping up. My birthday start is usually something special for me, and this year it was Hannah Sanderson. I was watching Kyle's return to Flosstube, and he's got this in the background. He's got it all stitched up. Totally forgot that he stitched this. Or did I even know that he stitched it? Anyway, I didn't know he stitched it. So, I am stitching this on a 40 count Weeks Dye Works straw. And I'm trying to see what my start is here. That is my start. Not much at all. The colors are showing up pretty good. Yeah, colors are showing up pretty good today. So, not a huge start. So, I did get a little bit of time on it. So, that's about where straw is right now. So, yeah. So, not a huge start, but a start. I did get to spend a little bit of time on it since I had that day off. Quit being nosy, sir. Sticking his face in my bags over here from the haul that I need to show you guys. Oh yeah, there are bags. Plural. Anyway, so that is in my Made by Mama Joan bag that I recently got. Trying to see what I'm going to do with these. I'll just put them up over here. So that was my birthday on the 8th. That's what I started. On the 9th, I got the starts, cinnamon stars. Let me tell y'all a story. When I first pulled on the 3rd is when cinnamon stars technically got drawn, but I didn't have the fabric and the floss for it yet. I know. It was very irresponsible of me to put this project in on a random wheel of starts if I didn't have the floss and the fabric for it. But alas, I did. I was just kind of hoping it wouldn't come up until later, but that's the way it was drawn. So, technically this came up on the 3rd, and I put it off until I had the fabric and the floss for it, until I was able to go to Stitch and Frame and get the stuff. So, on the 9th is when I actually started this. That is Cinnamon Stars, if you don't know what it looks like. So, I have a working copy. And I'm doing this with the called for fancy floss. There's not a whole lot to see on this one, but this is my start. I know it's terrible, but that's my start. This is a 40 count beige by Weeks Dye Works. That's the name of the color, is beige. So that's it. In the grand scheme of things, that's my start. And oh, is this 36 count or was this 40 count? No, this is 36 count, right? I'm gonna have to go back and double check. Because part of me, my brain is saying that this is a 36 count. I will go back and double check. You should have already been seeing it on the bottom of your screen. It's either 36 or a 40 count. My brain is still saying 36 count. It's 36 count. So, with one strand. So, that's where that is at. I'm gonna have to go back through these starts and fill out my cards and put them in there, because I will forget. Even if I know what something is now, I will forget. On the 10th, it pulled One Stitch at a Time by Durene Jones. Yes, this is the pattern, but it is a free pattern that you can find on her Facebook page. So, One Stitch at a Time. And I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida, and I think the colorway is Wisteria. Yeah, the color is called Wisteria, but this is one of those 14 count Aidas by Charles Craft that comes like that. As you can see, I still have some left for another project. I don't stitch on a lot of 14 count or even 28 count, but I do occasionally. So this is my start. I got a pretty good start on it that day. So the color, it's like a dusty plum color. So, and I really wanted to be able to get some of this darker green in, so you could kind of can see the color change there. So, and then that needle monitor says live short, stitch fast. Don't remember where I got that from. So, but it's got this big black magnet on the back of it, and I don't like that. I keep telling myself I don't like it, but I have yet to actually switch it out for a smaller one. But I don't think it can do much damage on a dark Aida like that. So, that was the 10th, right? Yeah. On the 11th, it chose another freebie. This is Welcome Campers. I'm gonna hold it back here. Welcome Campers. This is a free design that you can find on the Witchy Stitcher website. I think I got it. I think it was posted in the Facebook or something, but they do have it if you go to witchystitcher.com. I think it's witchystitcher.com. Just Google search Witchy Stitcher and it'll come up. On her freebies page, you'll find several great patterns. But I liked this one because Andy's into the horror stuff. He's into the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, that kind of thing. So, this is my start. And true to my word, I did change the fabric on this. I don't know if you guys remember, but I originally had the 28 count MCG even weave. While I love the color, I'm not crazy about stitching on that even weave because it's never actually 28 count. And it's not square like it's supposed to be. So I did switch this out for a 32 count. This is Beach Walk. It's showing up pretty good. It says 32 count Beach Walk, even weave by Under the Sea Fabrics. That is my lovely start. Some of the mask. So that's that. And if you can't see the needle minder, it says sexual harassment in this area will not be reported, however, it will be graded. So, I apologize if that offends anybody. It's meant to be satire. But it's kind of me in a nutshell. I might not say anything, but I will, in my mind, be judging you. Anyway, what is this? Oh, so that was the 11th. The 12th. Okay, so this next one, there's a story. The 12th was, what, Saturday? No, Friday. The 12th was Friday. Okay. I had to work that day. I chose my new start, and it came up as pandemic. Okay, that's fine. So, I go and get my bag with pandemic in it, and I'm looking at the fabric, which is the other cut of the Weeks I Work straw, 40 count. So I opened it up and I look at it. It looked a little funny. Didn't look like it was wide enough. So I measured it. I did the stitch count measurement, and okay, it's supposed to be like 18 point something inches wide on 40 count. I measured the fabric. It's only like 16 inches wide. So, well, that's not gonna work. So, not right now. Yeah. Sorry, I had to set my diamond penny over there on the tote by the window where he likes to sit. And I can't have him sitting up there on my diamond penny right now. Stop. So, I go back into my stash. And I'm digging around. I'm looking at 32 counts. I'm looking at 36 count. But in my mind, I'm thinking I really would prefer to do this on a 40 count. To keep it small so that I can use one strand of floss on it. And I'm digging. And I come across this piece of 40 count Sprite by Picture This Plus. It's purple. I like my purple, don't get me wrong. I just don't see stitching a sampler on a purple fabric. Would you quit trying to eat my stuff? Oh. He's trying to eat my stuff. So I thought, well, this is great. A long dog on a piece of purple fabric with the floss that I have picked out. It'll be great. So, by the time I get the stuff ready, I get the fabric cut. I just had to cut off a bit at the bottom. By the time I get the fabric cut and get it onto my Q-snap to start stitching on it, I'm thinking I'm not going to have enough time to really get a good start on this. I may be able to get 30 minutes on it, but that's not enough time to get a start on it that it really deserves for such a big piece. So I think, well, let me pick again. So I spun the wheel again, and it came up with Moonlit Kitties by Mill Hill. All right, it's a kit. You know, should be quick to start. Y'all, I've never stitched a Mill Hill kit before. I didn't realize you had to sort the threads like you did like the old DMCs or the Janlin kits and stuff. I didn't realize you had to sort the threads. So that was a no-go. So needless to say, I mean, I started to try and sort the threads, but I didn't know, like this particular Mill Hill kit, it doesn't list how many strands, how many lengths of each color that you have. It only lists the color, the symbol, the color name, and how many strands you're supposed to stitch with. So I was swearing up and down that there's a brown color in it. I was swearing up and down that these browns were two different, nearly identical, but slightly different colors. And that was driving me insane. That was driving me crazy. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. I don't have time to do this right now. So I didn't get anything started before I went to work. Unfortunately. So when I came home from work, I usually get home from work around 8:45, 9, something. Got home from work, of course, dinner, all that good stuff. When I finally got a chance to sit down and do some stitching, I decided, well, maybe now I have time to get a decent start in on Pandemic. So, all that to say that I initially went back to my original pick of Pandemic, which you should be seeing right here. I went back to my original start of Pandemic. So, I don't know if you can see this. It is a pale purple. Well, that ain't doing no good. It's a pale purple. It's picture this plus Sprite. And where is my stitching? There's my stitching. That's the start that I got on it. I'm sorry I couldn't give y'all a visually interesting start on it, but this is what I had time to do. So, this is out the length of the first page. I think this is about maybe halfway down that page, or 3/4 of the way down. So, I have it marked off. Guess what, y'all? I can actually use Pattern Keeper for this. I know, right? Out of everything that I've tried to use Pattern Keeper with, I finally have a project that I can use Pattern Keeper with, other than my Hade. So, it's showing up pretty good right there. It's a pale purple, so, but it's a pretty color. So, that is my start on it. I would like to leave this out and get some more stitching on it before I put it away for a while, but out of everything, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out. I don't know. I make no plans on anything. March is just kind of messing me up right now as far as what I get to stitch on. I have to show y'all the mug. Sorry. I didn't want to take a drink out of my mug and y'all not see what was on it. even though I already showed it to you. So, on the 13th, which was Saturday, I've had off this whole weekend. So on Saturday, I finally managed to get the threads sorted. I sorted the threads from what I thought the colors would be. Because they have things like, I want to show you what's on here. They have things like black, gray, light gold, medium orange, light orange, that kind of thing. So, and it does have the DMC color there. Obviously, I know what 310 looks like. Funny enough, I know what 920 looks like. Funny enough, I know what 920 looks like because I almost used it for a project. And then obviously, you know what 3371 looks like. You know, there are numbers of DMC that you just know what they look like. You know what color they are. So I separated them out best I could, going off of the color names. And after I was done, did I show this to you yet? After I was done, I brought out my DMC color card. It's more of a book than a card. I brought it out. It's the one that has the actual threads on it. And I compared the colors to the color card. And I had everything right. Why am I pulling out? I put them on this, one of these thread things that I had in my stash. Put them on one of these. I happen to have some. So, that's the colors for it. So, I brought out my DMC color card, compared the colors to what they were supposed to be, and I did it right. I'm so happy I matched everything up right the way it was supposed to be. So, what kind of start did I get on a Saturday that I had off? Let me put this. That was my start. This is on a dark blue perforated paper. That was my start. That was it. Because Saturday was the day that I decided I need to get out of the house for a bit. Just do some piddling around. And so I did. And you're going to see what became of all that here in a little bit. So that was my start on that. Oh, while I'm showing y'all that, this needle minder right here, you see how it's like the circle and has the image on it and it has the plastic cover thing over it. Would y'all be interested in minders like this? With the images and stuff like that. Not necessarily this particular one, but it's a funny image. It's a cat. Might help if I actually put it the right way around. It's a cat, and it's like the fish is trying to pull him into the bowl. But either way, would y'all be interested in minders like this? Because I can make some. I've been thinking about that lately. I still want to do the minder thing, but I also kind of want to do the fabric dyeing thing. So let me know what y'all think. Because if I start making minders like that, I have to do it through a Facebook group so that people, so that I can list, I can post a picture of the image sheets and y'all can let me know which image you want. That's the easiest way to do it. So yeah, let me know, because I hope y'all say that y'all will be interested, because I know there's kind of a hole, in that, I feel like there's a hole in that type of minders, especially after Kate at No Name Needle Minders, after she stopped making minders, she had some that were like that, and then, the lady, Molly, at the Everyday Stitcher, I think she might have done something like that too, but kind of similar but different. But But especially Kate. I know she was doing minders, round ones like that. So let me know what you guys think. I could certainly start making some like that. And I will be happy to set that up. So. And then finally on the 14th, yesterday, I pulled my start. And it pulled a start that I was going to start last year, but I didn't. And that is Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. This kind of took over the Flosstube community for a while. Of course, I have to be different and not start things when everybody else starts them. I have a working copy here, so. I am starting this on a 40 count. Picture This Plus in the colorway Truffle. It's a beautiful pink color. You're not going to see it. It's darker pink than it's coming up. But it's a beautiful pink color. Let's see if you can tell. You kind of can tell. That's a little close, but you know what I mean. It's a pink color. So this was my start on it yesterday. I didn't have to work yesterday, like I said, and I didn't go anywhere yesterday. So I was trying to get as much as I could done yesterday, but I wasn't able to finish her hair. And this is in, is it Gentle Arts? Cinders. You would think a color called Cinders would be more grays or even black. The color conversion for DMC for this is black, and I think the person that model stitched it did use DMC 310 instead of the fancy floss. But this is Cinders. This is deep purpley burgundies. So I got some of her hair. That's actually about half. There's a whole lot more hair down here too. And I wasn't able to get that done. So, and my butterfly needle minder. I actually made this myself out of a pendant that I got, I think at Hobby Lobby. So, that is my start on that. I actually want to start doing things like that. The minders like that too. But that just, me working with a Dremel, I'm not really that excited about. It can be done, but, and I am using this, I am doing this with the called for over dyes. As you can see, this is the skein out of all of these that I've pulled out of. And I'm just using these. I don't know if I've ever mentioned these, but these are 1.5 inch rings that you can get. I think they're for scrapbooking or photo album making. I got these at Hobby Lobby in that area, the photo album area. You get a pack of 12 of these for, I think it's $5.99, unless you catch them on sale. So that's the original. That's the regular price on them, is $5.99. So you get 12. So what is that, 50 cents a piece? I think it's a pack of 12. But like I said, these are 1.5 inch rings. So that's my floss. And speaking of floss rings, I have a question. This is my last start, by the way, that I have to show you. Speaking of floss rings, I have a genuine question, okay? I know that floss rings are all the rage, and the floss drops, especially the floss drops. But I do have a question, and somebody please help me out on this. With the floss drops, if you use those, what do you do with the floss once you finish the project? Do you leave it on the floss drops? Do you take it off the floss drops and bobbinate it? Help a girl out. Because while I would like to have my projects all neatly pretty, I'm generally wondering, what would a person do with floss on a floss drop? Like, how do you handle that situation once the project is done? Let me know. I need answers. But that is the end of the new starts. I have haul. Lord knows I have haul. So, we'll just start at the beginning, shall we? I had, on Saturday, I had the feeling that I just want to get out and just kind of piddle around for a bit. And I thought, well, it's been a while since I've been to Joann's. Joann's is nowhere near close to me. Our nearest and only Joann that we have is about 45 minutes away, which is a little bit longer than how long it takes me to get to the stitching frame. But it doesn't seem that long to get from here to the stitching frame as it does to Joann, because I know the roads very well. I have a set way that I go, and it goes by faster. So I don't go to Joann's that often because it's way in Charlotte, and one, I don't like going into Charlotte. It's just me. But I decided, well, it's been a while since I've been to Joann's. I'll go and check them out. I did have a couple things in mind that I wanted to get. One being a 22 count Ada for a restart. And I think I was on the lookout for something else, but I can't remember at the time what it was. Anyway, so I went to Joann. We're gonna start there. Just FYI, I hit all three. So went to Joann. Didn't find the Ada that I wanted. There was a shelf tag for 22 count Ada, but it wouldn't have been big enough anyway. And I passed by the Rit die. They had all the colors, and even some colors that I didn't even know existed. They must be new colors. So I got, this is not a new color, but I got this. I got neon yellow. I think I already have neon green. That's more an experiment. I also got hyacinth, which is a lovely purple color. And I also picked up taupe. I don't have that one yet. I almost got camel because I'm almost out of camel, but I didn't get that. I also got some Rit Color Stay dye fixative, even though I have another method of setting the color if I should want to. I just thought I would try that. And I also picked up a box of color remover because there's a couple pieces of fabric that I dyed that I would like to redo. That I would like to take the color out of them and redo. So, pick that up. I could put these back in the bag. I didn't find the 22 count, and I wasn't really wanting to get the Joann fabric, but I thought, I got that neon yellow, and I know I have the neon green at home. I'm going to do an experiment. And for experiments, I didn't want to use a good Ada. So I picked this up, just a Joann 16 count Ada. I can tell it's on the stiff side. So I picked that up for my experiment. I'm going to probably cut this up into a few pieces, like smaller ornament size pieces, and do a couple of experiments. And on the way out, I'm surprised I haven't eaten these yet. On the way out, by the register, they have these. I need to try these out. I like trying new candy flavors. I do. And Oreo flavors. So, that's what I got at Joann's. Like I said, didn't really find what I was initially going in there for. And I think Andy had wanted some spray bottles. Didn't find any spray bottles there. So I drove back to Rock Hill and went to the Hobby Lobby in Rock Hill. So I definitely found some stuff at the Hobby Lobby. First of all, so I can do away with this, I found the big roll of 22 count Ada. It's what I need. This is the 30 by 36 size. I need this because, and I just watched Letitia's part 4 of her whip parade. She mentioned 20 count Ada and how it's the same size as if you stitch over to on 40 count linen. 22 count. It's even smaller. And it's still Ada. Technically it's Ada, but this is heart hanger. So, I'm going to dye this black. And I'm going to restart my avatar banners on it. So, that's why I needed that. So I picked that up. That's just been like sticking out of the bag. And they also had 32 count Belfast in natural. This is supposed to be Zweigart fabric. And looking at it, I think I might like how that stitches up. Because you can see how the weave is on it. So I like that. That's the 32 count natural. They also had this, which I thought was interesting. It's 18 count linen. It's 95% linen, 5% metallic polyester. It's natural star, and you can see it has a sparkle to it. I thought that was interesting. So I'm going to give that a go at some point. And also picked up, this is another thing that's going to be used for dyeing. 28 count even weave. Picked up the 11 by 17 Q-snap and also picked up a 6-inch Q-snap. Smaller projects. And I'm not done. Because I saw somebody mention this, I don't remember who it was that mentioned it. But because I saw somebody mention this, I picked up a 6x6 artist canvas. And the reason I picked this up is because I saw somebody, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember who it was, but I saw somebody talk about getting these square artist canvas with the actual canvas that's wrapped around and taking the canvas off so that you're left with the frame, so that you're left with this frame right here, and using that to thumbtack your meal hill kits to, so that you have a frame to work on, so you have a frame to hold while you work on your meal hill kits. So I'm going to try that out and see how that works. I might need y'all to come along for the ride. We'll see. So, and I picked that up. And I think their canvases were on sale. Because if you didn't know, Hobby Lobby is no longer doing their 40% off coupon. They're actually having sales now. Like the way Michaels and Joanne do. So I think the artist canvases were 50% off. So that, making sure that I got everything here. So that was my Hobby Lobby haul. Okay. So spent way more in there than I normally would have. She was ringing this stuff up and she told me the total was like $86, and I'm like, okay. Luckily I had the money to cover it. Definitely wasn't expecting it to be so much. But you know, you go in Hobby Lobby and you just start picking stuff up. So, and then after that, I went to Michael's. Well, after I came out of Hobby Lobby, I put in an order for dinner for pickup, and it was still like 30 minutes. I had to wait like 30 minutes to go pick it up. But while I was there, I went right down the road because in Rock Hill, Hobby Lobby and Michael's are on the same road. They're just maybe a mile or a mile and a half apart. One's on this side of the highway and the other one's on the other side of the highway. So I went into Michael's and I picked up that. These are all the new, this is one of every color of, would you stop? This is one of every color of the new colors of DMC. I went in there thinking I'm going to get the one with the tin. And looking at the price, I'm thinking, okay, well the tin is $29.99. And they had a 20% off your total regular price purchase coupon. Literally the only coupon they had out. So I'm thinking, okay, 20% off. That knocks about $6 off of it. So it'd be about $24 plus tax. And then I started looking. And FYI, my Michaels still had the DMC signage for the new colors saying that they were 56 cents. So when I went up to the register, I asked the lady, I was like, are these still 56 cents? She rang it up, it comes up 62 cents. So I was like, well, y'all signage says it's 56. So I had to go back there and show the lady where it said that they were 56 cents. And she was like, oh. So I didn't get them for 56 cents. And I asked her, I was like, if she overrides these and rings them up at 56 cents, is it still going to take my 20% off coupon because I want to use that? She's like, no. Once they price correct something, you can't use a coupon on it. So I'm like, okay, I'll have her ring these up at 62 cents and I'll use my 20% off coupon on them. So I did that. So I got, while I've been talking, I've been straightening these up. So I got my flosses. I think the grand total after tax was like $18 and something. So, and when I was looking at my receipts, it took the 20% off of each one. So some it was ringing up at 50 cents, some it was ringing at 49 cents after the discount. So I got all my flosses I didn't need a tin. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why do I want the tin? I have nothing to do with the tin. I don't need it. And it would just be something else. Just something else in the way. Just another piece of random stuff in this house that we don't need. So I picked up all the new flosses so that I have them. And no, I'm not going to go back and, because there's been a couple of things that I've kitted up lately that have taken those new colors. No, I'm not going to go back and change the colors that I have selected. I'm just going to put these in my drawers. I don't want to know what that was. I'm going to put these in my drawers and I'll have them. Hi. He's up there now. I think what he did is he jumped up from the fridge because on the other side of this is the fridge. And on the other side of the fridge is one of those plastic pull-out drawer things. So he jumps up onto that and then jumps up onto the fridge and then he can get there. Anyway, so that was my shopping. That was my Saturday shopping. So, I had fun while it lasted. When I left out of the house, I kept thinking part of my brain wanted to go to Stitch and Frame. But I was like, I don't technically need anything from Stitch and Frame. Plus, I want to wait and make sure they have a couple of the new patterns that have come out. from Needlework Expo that I can get. Because guess what? Like somebody said in another video, these things that come out at Expo or back at Needlework Market, you don't have to pre-order them. They're still going to be around next month or probably next year. The only exceptions would be if it's something that's, say, exclusive. And I don't think anything exclusive came out at Expo. I don't remember anything exclusive coming out at Expo, but that doesn't mean that it didn't. But I didn't see anything that was exclusive. So I'm just going to wait until I can go to... I'll probably wait. You know what I probably will do? If I can get my Rosewood Manor done this week, and if I can get it done this week, take it and drop it off, say next week, next Monday or Tuesday, when I know I'm going to have off, I'll just pick out some things then. Because I still have my birthday discount to use, and I need to do it in March. So that would be the perfect time to do that, is when I take my Rosewood Manor to be framed. That sounds like a good idea. I just come up with a good idea that I think I'm going to do. So that's going to be it for what I have to show you. And y'all were so nice. Y'all didn't mention it in the comments. But why did y'all let me forget to do my this or that questions last time? So now I got to do 6. I got to do 3 from last time that I forgot to do, and 3 from this time. So let me find the book real quick. I think it's down here. Yes, it is. So I'm going to do a few questions out of this or that book. Y'all are so nice. Y'all didn't even mention it to me. Y'all didn't want to say anything that I forgot to do them. Okay, let me grab my pencil so that I can go ahead and answer these as I'm telling you guys. So I'm just going to pick a page here. Black and white or subtitled movies? Oh, God. I think I'd rather watch a black and white movie than read a subtitled movie. I've had to do that. Andy watches a lot of anime, and he's been into some Japanese shows called Kamen Rider and Ultraman. He loves Ultraman. So he's been into those, and they're all subtitled. Even he is like, he can only read for so long. Like, he can't watch it for, like, he just can't keep watching it and watching and watching it. Like, he can only watch so much of it before he just gets tired of reading. So yeah, black and white. Because you're sitting there reading the bottom of the screen, and you don't really see everything that's going on the actual screen, on the video. So yeah, we'll do black and white. Handwritten or typed? Depends on the handwriting. If it's neat handwriting, I guess I would say I like handwriting better. Typed can often come off as cold, and it also really depends on the context of it. If it's something that's professional, then yes, it needs to be printed up, like typed. But if we're talking about letters or correspondence with somebody, handwritten, because it just has a more personal feel to it. So, oops. Okay, so, here's a couple of these. I'm like, I don't even know how to answer it. Let's go down. Power Rangers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was never big into the Power Rangers thing. Again, Andy is, because it's actually an offshoot of the Japanese style of shows. But I did like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. cartoon growing up. And I liked those live action movies, like the first couple that came out. And it's the ones like where, if you didn't hear, the suits were basically made of like styrofoam, I think. And they have seriously degraded over time, like majorly degraded over time. So yeah, we're gonna do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's 3, right? Stick shift or automatic? Automatic, because stick shift is too much work. And actually my car, it has where it isn't automatic, but it has where you can shift it like a stick shift. If you want to put it in sport mode. But I don't do that. It doesn't technically shift like a stick shift. It has the paddles on both sides so that you can shift up and down. Paddle shifters. But yeah, I definitely would go with an automatic, because a stick shift is too much work. Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch? Fruity Pebbles, but I do like the peanut butter Captain Crunch. But we're gonna go with Fruity Pebbles. How many have I answered? How many have I answered? Is that 5? So let's scroll back here a little bit, and let's go hermit crab or gecko. Well, I did have a hermit crab at some very brief point in my teenage years, like early teenage years. And I was kind of wanted to get another one, but having to restart all that is just too much work. It's an expense, because you have to get like the fish tank, and then you have to get the warmer thing, and then all the little stuff you got to put in the fish tank. And then we have a problem with those little geckos getting in the house. We're all the time having to like pick them up and put them back outside where they belong. And you know how easily their tail breaks off? Like, if you try to pick them up by their tail, that sucker's going to break off. I think it's a survival technique or something. But definitely I would say a hermit crab. Yeah, I would say a hermit crab. Where did I see that at? It's on this page somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So yeah, we're going to go with hermit crab. And because I think that was 6, but because my brain has already lost count, we're going to do one more. Animal shelter or food pantry? I've had to use a food pantry before. In my early 20s, when me and my ex-husband were married. I used it once. I've never gotten an animal from an animal shelter per se, but I have all of my animals that I've ever had in my life have been animals that I've gotten from somebody else, that have been given to me. But I would say, I mean, food pantries are good for people that are in need of them. But I think this is asking, would you rather go to an animal shelter and then pick out an animal, or would you rather maybe help out at a food pantry? I'm going to go with animal shelter because I like animals. Probably sometimes more than I like people. And I work at a cafeteria now, so it's serving food anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with animal shelter. I did work at a pet store for a little while. Not very long, because they hired me on to do different tasks throughout the store, and it seems like the only thing I was ever doing was every single morning I would come in and I would have to clean the fish tanks. You ever been to a pet store? How many fish tanks they have with all the different kind of fish in them? Yeah, I had to clean all of those. Needless to say, that got old very fast. So, but I would like to work at an animal shelter if they're going to have me doing like different things, like with the animals. So yeah, animal shelter. Where did I see that at? There it is. So, okay. So, that was my questions for this particular video. I am just over an hour, I think, by the time I edit this down. And, yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I always say that I always think of things that I want to talk about, like while I'm in the car. But then I always forget what they are by the time I do my videos. I think that's it. I already said that I haven't had much time to do anything other than my new starts and my daily 30. So I did make a little bit of time this morning to work on my diamond painting, which I kind of wanted to do last night, but at the same time, I needed to do some stitching on something else. So that's gonna do it for me. Oh no, I knew there was something else that I was wanting to kind of gloss over, if you will. Somebody made a comment on my old, not old, but somebody made a comment on my last whip parade that I did very, very, very beginning of January. And, or no, was it December 31st that I did it? I don't know. It was my 2020-21 whip parade. And somebody made a comment on it last week. And it got me to rewatching that video. And as I'm watching the video, I'm like, I should get that out and stitch on that. And then I show something else. I'm like, I really need to stitch on that. And then it shows something else. And it's like, oh, I really want to stitch on that. I need to get some stitching in on that. And it just brought up all this stuff that I need to go back and start working on other stuff. So, I think after March, I'm going to go back to a weekly rotation. Because I have a lot of stuff that needs attention. I have stuff that I had put into my whip go board, which, as you know, I ended up abandoning the whip go board idea because I was, for some reason in my mind, for a while when I was working on that white pumpkin sampler, I just wanted to keep working on that. I got it in my head that I wanted to be monogamous with it until I finished it. And then, in my mind, again, I was going to finish that project and then I was going to start working on another project and be monogamous with that until I finished that. That idea is not going to work. I'm sorry, but I have way too many other projects that need attention than for me to sit there for weeks or even months monogamously stitching on a project. Now, with that being said, I'm going to try to get back out my whip go board and I'm going to try to make some progress on the stuff that's on that whip go board. But at the same time, I'm also going to try to have another project going. I also have my daily 30, which I'm going to always have to have my daily 30. I'm also going to have another project that I'm going to try to work on for a week. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I also have my sowls. I got to keep up with the sowls. So it's like I have other things that I need to do. So maybe I don't start back up on my whip good board. Maybe I keep up with my sowls. I keep up with my daily 30. And then I have a project that I leave out for a given amount of time, whether it be a week or 2 weeks. And I get as much stitching in on that project as I can. I like that idea. But I'm not going to be able to implement that until after March. Because as of right now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm really, the only thing I'm getting time to do right now is my daily 30 and my new starts. Because I want to get as much progress on my new starts as I can, but I only have that 24 hours to do it in. And most days I have to go to work. So I get, my stitching in on my daily 30, usually first in the morning. Like when Abby goes down, I'll do some progress on my daily 30, or even once she's fed, I will sit her in her bouncer for a while. And maybe I have time to get some stitching in while she's sitting in her bouncer until she starts fussing, which tells me that she's getting tired, which means I need to put her down. But usually first thing in the mornings is when, first thing of the day is when I get my daily 30 in. And then after I get that in, I will, once I get tired of working on my daily 30, once I get to a stopping point, I will spin my wheel and see what I'm starting that day. And then most of the time, I can get a couple hours at least in on my new start before I have, surrounding however long Abby sleeps, feeding her, any other household things that need to be done, like washing dishes or washing clothes or whatever, and then having to leave for work, like say at 3 o'clock. So it depends. I'm not getting much stitching on other than my daily 30 and my new starts. So anything else, and I'm still trying to think of that word. I keep wanting to say extraterrestrial, but that's not it. I can't think of it. You guys know what I mean, right? It's the word. It's like it means, like when you're in school and you have your main classes and then you have your extracurricular. That's what I mean. That I knew if I thought hard enough about it. My extracurricular projects. Y'all are probably screaming it at me the whole time. Thank you for screaming it at me. It came through the video. But, so yeah, my main projects are my daily 30 and my new starts. And I don't have a lot of extra time for extracurricular projects, whether it be stitching or diamond painting. But I do try to make a little time at some point. Again, I need to get some progress in. I need to finish part 2 of that supernatural sow before the next part drops. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Hope you guys got some good stitching in while I'm sitting here jabbering away. But I hope you guys got some good stitching in. Why can't I talk today? But whether you hear me talking or not, I'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I will show you guys what I start this week. And you guys get to start off the new starts with today's new start, I don't know what that's going to be yet because I haven't pulled it. I don't have to work today, and I still need to do my daily 30, which I may try to work on a little bit more than 30 minutes. I like to get at least an hour, hour and a half on it or so, so that I can finish it up. I can see the finish line on it. It's like right around the next lap. I can see the finish line on it, and it's really pushing me to get it finished, especially with the prospect of being able to give it to my mom for her birthday next month. So, what was I saying? I just completely, that train went completely off that track. Anywho, I will see you guys next week. And until I see you guys again, be good. Bye, guys.